Twisted water.
The Industrial Revolution first came to Great Britain and the U.S. during the mid-1800s, and with it came a very high demand for labor. People and families quickly moved to cities that have been industrialized to find work and jobs. For families to survive in the slightest bit of poverty, families had to have each family member working to earn money. This led to a lot of child labor. Children were treated horribly, overworked, and underpaid for a long time before anyone said anything about it to change these working conditions for children.
Nowadays, kids in Ghana are working just as hard as the people who were working during the Industrial Revolution, and yet, during modern times, they are still getting paid the same amount as when people were back in the Industrial Revolution. Kids that are working 14 hours a day and 7 times a week get paid as little as $20 for an entire whole year of working for a fisherman.
This video is about two young boys who are working together and on the same boat but don't really know each other and aren't friends, nor do they even know each other's names.
The sun is shining on my forehead as I start to throw the endless knotted rope into the water. A boy who I've worked with through the years grabs the other end of it and we swing the net into the water. And although I've been working with him for so long, I still haven't talked to him, nor do I have any idea what his name might be. When I was 5 years old, I was sold to a fisherman by my parents because they needed me to work so that I would bring home money. I'm 7 years old now, and I get paid $34 a year to work 13 hours a day and 7 days a week. On major holidays, sometimes we get the day off, but other times we have to work in the evening or in the morning.
Boys as young as 4 years old get put into fishing industries and sold to fishermen. This means that the child's whole childhood is gone, let alone their basic human rights and any hope of education. During the Industrial Revolution, children, including girls and boys, were forced to work so that their family could earn more money. To this day, child labor is still in action and is still happening. There's been some organizations trying to help inform the fishermen about how hiring the children to work for them, the fishermen are actually stripping the kids of their childhood and any type of education and even their basic human rights. So, fishermen have been given a surprisingly positive answer back to the organizations and have been trying to help this cause by hiring less children.
As I see the net sink down to the bottom of Lake Volta, I can see the fish getting caught in it. The boy next to me never talks to me, and we only have made eye contact once. We work together, but never has spoken, and he is still basically a stranger to me. I look over to see what the boy is doing. He is still staring down at the water. I can see both of our reflections. I see the sweat dripping down from his face. It is 92 degrees. As the net hits the bottom, we look at each other and realize we must dive down to the bottom of the lake to untangle the net so that the fish can be caught.
Children had many different responsibilities during the Industrial Revolution. Many children had horrible jobs and they were hurt or killed.
We both dived down to the bottom of the lake to untangle the nets. The other boy was faster than me and started untangling. When I got to the bottom, I put my hands on the nets trying to untangle them. I was out of breath and I swam up to the top of the water, not remembering that the other boy was still underwater. I waited about a minute and then jumped back into the water. I was worried about the other boy and swam down to the bottom to see if he was all right. When I saw him, I realized he was caught in the nets. I swam over and tried to help him out. I pulled and tugged as hard as I could to get the boy out. His ankles were the only thing caught in the net at this point. I couldn't breathe. I swam back up to the surface of the water. I couldn't save him, and I was so close. I hadn't even known his name. I just stared at the water in shock.
The theme of the story is every life matters.